Welcome. Today we will be trying to answer some listening questions in your exam. We will try and deal with some techniques that you can use to help you answer the listening section in your exam. So, we will try and use 5 steps in answering some listening questions that you may find it's like in your exams. Please note that we will deal with skills here, and these skills you can use to answer some of the questions. So, the first step is read the title or work out the topic. So you can read the title of the section, or by looking at the vocabulary in the questions, you may be able to understand the general topic. And the second step is to read the questions and try and focus on the meanings in the question. And number 3, try and guess the logical answers. So try and have a guess without listening to the audio. Try and guess the answers. And number 4, listen for the first time and check your guess. So when you listen for the first time, you see how your guess was. And finally, listen again, just to make sure of your answer. Okay, so we have a question here. It says circle the answer that best completes each statement. So we have number 1, Dr. Al-Dawsari's advice is to eat anything you like, always eat healthy foods, eat a balanced diet. And number 2, red meat is good for your eyesight, or B, hair and teeth, or C, bones and skin. So we are going to focus on these 2 questions. We can work out that the topic is about advice and something to do with advice about food. Because we have here for number 1, Dr. Al-Dawsari's advice, and for question 2, we have red meat, which is to do with food. And we also have balanced diet, we have healthy food. So we can tell by the questions that this topic is about advice about food. So we read the questions and the choices. After that, we can try and guess the answer. So for number 1, as you can see, my guess is that it is C. Dr. Al-Dawsari's advice is to eat a balanced diet. I could be right or I could be wrong, but this is my guess. And number 2, I think red meat is good for your eyesight. This is my guess. Again, I could be right or I could be wrong. After this, we are on step 4, and that is listen and check your guess. So we're going to listen now to the audio for the first time. And when we listen, we're going to see if our guess is correct. If it is correct, we choose that answer. So remember, my guess for question 1 was C, and my guess for question 2 was A. Let's listen now and see if I was right.
Greetings, and welcome to today's edition of Your World with me, Hamad Al-Sharif. And with me in the studio, I have nutrition expert Dr. Al-Dawsari. Welcome, Doctor.
Thanks, Hamad. It's great to be here.
So it's time to listen up, people, for some top health tips. Remember, you may like the taste, but did you ever wonder about the effect on your body of what you eat and drink? Doctor?
Well, let me start by saying it's okay to eat any food you want as long as your diet is balanced. And what I want to say today is that we can all enjoy good health, but we have to know the effects that the food and drink we consume have on our bodies. Red meat isn't bad for you unless you eat too much. It actually gives us healthy bones and skin. But obviously, you shouldn't eat a huge steak every night.
Right. After listening, we know that I was right. Dr. Al-Dosari's advice is to eat a balanced diet. As for number 2, red meat is good for your bones and skin. I was wrong, so the correct answer is C. Now I've listened and I checked my guesses. After this, we'll move on to step 5, where we have to listen again for the second time and make sure of our answers. These are the 5 steps in answering some listening questions. Please revise these steps and hopefully this should help you in your exam.